Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 27, 2017, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we just really have one number coming out, and that's consumer confidence coming out of the United States at 5 p.m. South African time. Now, this is a very important number, and probably the most important number of the end of the year. Okay, I don't think we have any more important numbers than this until we get to next year. So keep an eye on it. Okay, dollar getting a little bit weaker across the board. Okay, against the forex symbols, and let's take a look at that before we discuss the Dow. So we're looking here at the EURUSD. This morning we were challenging this 118.80-ish level on the upside, and what's encouraging about this upwards momentum is that we've had these higher lows. Okay, we've set up a nice neckline at this 1830-ish level, okay, if we call that, and then we made these higher lows. Okay, not necessarily higher highs, but higher lows. Okay, and that's that's starting a little bit of a upwards trend. Okay, but nothing solidified. Okay, because we've had this one, two, a little bit of a three here. Okay, resistance level at these levels. So that is a significant level, okay, as a resistance, but ultimately we look like we want to take it out higher, and let's see if we do get that follow through. So what should we do? Okay, 1876 we're trading in right now. Well, I anticipate maybe we'll have a retracement down to 1870-ish level. Okay, but we're really in a tight range here. Okay, altogether. But I wouldn't trade this big, but I would wait, to buy maybe at 1870-ish level, just a little bit to see if it does solidify and it does, start, getting into the upper range between 1870 and 1880. And then if it does break 1880, maybe I would build onto that position with the consumer confidence number coming out today. So, but just realize we are at resistance. So, there is a chance that we will retrace here, as in the markets do, going into an important number. Now looking at the GBPUSD, we're also slightly moving on the upwards movement here, but nothing really to write home. Okay, this is a very unvolatile week. It's generally not a volatile week for most of the currency pairs. Looking at the USD ZAR, we're flirting with support here at 1245. Okay, and if we do break this, then I definitely believe that we could get into the mid 1111 area. Okay, so keep an eye on this as well as this unfolds later today. Very encouraging for the South African economy. This makes things much more cheaper for consumers in South Africa. It takes the rand a little bit stronger versus the other currencies. So, in general, this is really good for an economy. Okay, for the consumption of an economy. So keep that in mind as this unfolds later today. Looking at the Aussie USD, continuing in the rotation as everything else is getting stronger versus the dollar, okay, or most of the currencies getting stronger against the dollar. We're trading at 77.48-ish. Okay, we may have a little bit of a retracement right here, but necessarily, okay, we may not have. Okay, this may continue going up on the upside, so keep an eye on that as well. Okay, so this has been really very strong versus the dollar and really coming through. Looking at the gold, trading at 1284, nothing big to write home. I'd like to see this get to 1293 before the end of the year, but let's see if that actually follows through. Okay, that's really an important thing to see. Looking at oil hitting 59.80 on a blast that came out from Libya, I believe it is, and disrupting the flow and the distribution of oil, and this is a news event, okay, but nevertheless it is a breakout. Okay, so you got to still respect it, and especially adding pressure to this, we've had this massive rally from earlier this year from 42.35 up to 59, and we may continue breaking this out. Now we have a resistance here at 61.20-ish level, and we're only about 20 basis point away from that. So keep that in mind as this continues rallying. Okay, this may continue as well. Looking at the USD CAD, now this is something that's not necessarily getting weaker versus dollar. It is getting stronger, as you can see here as well, and we're trading at 26. Now this obviously is affected by the price of oil. Okay, if oil goes up, Canadian dollar gets much stronger, and we see that right here. Okay, so this may continue breaking out on the downside, which means it's good for the Canadian dollar, US dollar getting weaker here, as we can see. So I'd like to see that continue as the market rotates this week. Looking at the Dow here, So the Dow's been in a 40 basis point range, which is really not much to really write home about. However, with the consumer confidence number coming out later today, we may see an upsurge on the upside. So keep that in mind. Usually going into Thursday, Friday before the New Year's, we do tend to have rallies. Okay, historically, I remember even from 20 years ago, where we, at the high tech boom, at the internet boom, went into the year very, very strong. It's very encouraging. Okay, so let's see if that actually follows through. Looking at the DAX, though, we've been a little bit quiet. So, if there was one of the two that I would look to short right after January, going into a sell-off would probably be the DAX. I'd like to see how it reacts the next couple of days. Looking at the JSC, lastly, 52,444. We've had this nice rally, but let's see if we can continue. It doesn't look like it wants to continue here. So let's see if it does retrace back to 52,200-ish level and maybe break it even. Okay, so this is really, it looks like it's had its move and really exhausting it quite quickly. So, we may be finding ourselves in a new trading range that is not all-time highs, which is okay, but it's not new time highs. Okay, so I don't think that this rally will continue, but keep an eye on this as this unfolds for the rest of the week. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.